So the Foxtrot EDC Compact, I decided to pick one of these up a little while ago. I was searching for a handheld light, or rather a better solution to a handheld light than what I was using at the time, which was the Surefire X300UB. I just took that off my Glock 45 and decided to use that as my handheld light. I'm a bouncer at a local couple of bars around my area, and this light has served me really, really well in substitute of that Surefire. The Surefire just gets really, really hot, and I needed to upgrade to something. So I gave this a shot, and honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect as far as the quality goes. I know that Sig hasn't come out with lights so much in the past. I don't know if they've ever released any handheld lights before, if this is their first model, but this is the first one that I've ever seen from them, and so I wasn't sure what to expect. But I can say that right off the bat, if you're looking to get one, 100% worth it for the price. Sitting around the $100 mark, you cannot go wrong with this light. But for those of you who are a little more interested in the light and how it performs, I'm going to go into a little bit more anecdotal detail about my experience with it. So this light in particular is 1350 lumens, 33,000 candela. For the size of this light, the output is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to throw up some footage right now of the light from about 20 feet away, from where I'm sitting right now to the edge of the wall on my right side in my bedroom. That's the spread that you get. It's a little bit wider than the Surefire, of course, because the Surefire is a weapon-mounted pistol light sporting 1,000 lumens. The center, like not the dot, like a red dot, but certainly the center of the light itself, the output itself, is much more condensed, and the spread isn't so wide. But that's not really what you're looking for in a light like this. You want a nice wide spread to cover a bit of a larger area if you're searching, assessing, doing whatever. But chances are you're not going to be using this light in too many life-threatening scenarios. You're probably not going to have your firearm drawn when you have this light. Again, I'm a bouncer on the weekends at a local bar, and this light serves me very, very well for that purpose. The Surefire, when I detached that and used it for those purposes, it would get really, really hot, even after 10, 15, 20 seconds of constant use. But this one doesn't seem to have that problem because it's built for exactly what it's being used for, to be in your hand. The compact model is much better in my opinion than the larger model. Granted, I don't have the larger model to compare it to, but I can tell you right now that this model fits in my hand absolutely perfectly. It literally fits in my palm. As you can see, it's about a palm's width, and I can't imagine that using the larger model would give you any benefit except the longer runtime, because the specifications themselves are exactly the same. It's 1350 lumens and 33,000 candela, so I don't see a reason why you would want the bigger model aside from the 2-hour runtime as opposed to the 1-hour runtime of this light. So now, as far as what this comes with, out of the box, you're going to get the light itself, 2 tail caps. One of them is this unbeveled tail cap with no obtrusions on the outside, and then the other one is going to be another tail cap with a couple of different little areas of contact for your fingers here, so that you don't negligently discharge the light and reach over the top quite as easily. It's going to come with that, a USB-C charging cable, and 2 of these lithium-ion batteries that go in here. So here's the batteries themselves. These are 18350 lithium-ion batteries. These are straight from Sig, and they have a little port on the side for you to plug in your included USB-C charger, which is really nice. I was glad they included 2 of these, and glad they included a charger as well. But you might notice that on my light, I have this little doohickey here, which is the Thyrm Switchback. I was recommended this little accessory for handheld lights by a guy who was instructing a course that I attended a few weeks ago, and I honestly didn't think I would ever have a use for it. But now that I really thought about it, or at the time after thinking about it, knowing that I was going to get a handheld light, I'm like, screw it, I'll give this thing a try. It was only like 20 or 30 bucks on Amazon, and essentially what it is a replacement for the standard clip that comes on a normal light like this, which you do get one on this light, I failed to mention. It's just your standard aluminum pocket clip like that you would get with a pocket knife or something like that. But this one is upgraded. Granted, it's plastic. However, this plastic seems much more robust than even the aluminum clip. It's a lot thicker. Unless you're completely intentionally bending it, I don't think you're going to see any snapping of any kind or breaking of any kind with this. It's so robust, as a matter of fact, that this thing poked a hole in my jeans, sticking it through onto my pocket. But of course, the main reason that you would get this particular item or accessory is because of this little finger loop here. So the whole idea of it is that whichever pocket you're in, at the end of your light, you're going to have this little accessory here, the little loop sticking up, so you can index your finger inside of this little loop, and now you have full retainment of your light. You can do whatever you want with it. You can move around, you can deal with things, you can deal with people. This is perfect for my particular scenario, because if I need to deal with people at the bar, if I need to put my hands on somebody, if I need to put my hands on anything for that matter, if I need to clean up a mess, if I need to grab a broom, if I need to pick up a bottle, if I need to pick up glass, if I need to pick up a person, if I need to pick up 2 people, this thing is going to serve me very, very well, because I can still maintain my light on my person with having full use of my fingers. So this Thyrm Switchback is like a great accessory as far as I'm concerned. I don't see any problems with it. Although installing it on this light was a little bit weird. I didn't really understand how it worked at first, but all you do is you take the tail cap itself off, and then there's a retainer. There should be a little washer that goes on top of the clip that comes with the light, and you should be able to remove that and then remove the stock clip, and then you can throw this right on, and then your tail cap of your choice between this or the other one included with the light will just slide right into it, and then you can screw it down. It's a little bit tough to screw down. You can see that this thing still twists. It's not a big deal. I don't need it to lock into place completely, but this still twists because I can't actually get an index on this tail cap in order to twist it far enough to tighten it all the way down, because as you can see, the Thyrm itself, this part here, is completely covering the tail cap. So unless I stick my finger in this little hole here, you see above my finger, unless I stick my finger in there, I can't really get a good grip on the tail cap itself to twist it all the way down. But other than that, I mean, it's totally fine. It doesn't affect the use of the light at all. I don't even notice that the Thyrm itself is twisting. It takes some force. It doesn't just like flip around. But just note that especially if you use this tail cap, I would imagine if you use the other one with the nubs on the top, you could get index points in order to tighten this down all the way. And then of course it fits flush. So if you can see in the camera there, if I twist this a little bit, the top of the Thyrm sits level with the top of the tail cap underneath the button, of course, not the button itself. The button is exposed and only the button is exposed. The top of the tail cap itself is completely flush with the top of the Thyrm. So any contact with the top of the light is just going to be with the tail cap. Now, of course, this light is momentary push, and you can click it as well. Ignore my glass of raw milk there. It doesn't have any other features as far as I know. I haven't found any strobe features or any programmable features or anything like that, but I don't think you need them. I think strobes are gimmicky anyway. I don't really see a use for them. If you really need a strobe, you can just tap the shit out of it with your thumb and you're good to go. I use this light very, very frequently, so this isn't somebody who just carries this in their pocket. I'm using this on a weekly basis, twice a week, Friday nights and Saturday nights, at the bar with people, in situations where I'm dealing with people, belligerently drunk people for that matter, and using this particular light and throwing one of those right in their face when they're coming at you belligerently drunk. You don't even have to lay a hand on them half the time. So this light does exactly what it's advertised to do, and I think it does more than that. I'm not shilling for SIG here. I know a lot of guys shill for SIG, but I mean, they really made a good product here at a fraction of the price a lot of the competitors do. So I don't see any reason why, if you're looking for a handheld light, you don't grab this and not something else. I see no reason not to save money on this particular light here. So hopefully that was helpful if you're looking at this particular light, or if you're worried about the SIG products in general. But this is it.